Hello YouTube, Mr. Vlandis here, making another video for you guys for your enjoyment. Another 2 pages out of my story, Caelculis Valley. If you're new to my channel here, I have more of these stories. They're linked in my description. Head over and take a look at them so you don't feel too confused in what's going on. So let's get right into these 2 pages and let's go. The southern side of the Rune Mountains had gray charred tones of color. This side of the mountain had one trail that snaked up between the bluffs of jagged stone. Higher they climbed, the more dangerous it was to step off the path. The slate rock was weak, making it easy to slip. Spiky, erected boulders dotted the upper side of the mountain like spikes. Higher up, some of the rough rocks held a melted shape with hardened bubbles. With portions of the trail made tight turns around them, overlooking cliffs that dropped hundreds of feet. Good there's a small path here at least, Sedina thought as her horse walked along the narrow trail, kicking some of the small pebbles off the edge. Wind pushed through the mountain with a sound like rushing waves on a beach. In this wind was a slight hint of sulfur. Even though the smell was light, it still stung her nose. There was a battle here long ago, Arduin said, looking up at the mountainside while searching for a snack in his pouch. A battle? She looked over the gray charcoal-looking rocks for remains. Yes, he adjusted in the saddle. Dragon's breath melted the rocks. That's why you smell sulfur. There was a coalition of kingdoms that had come here to stop Dorlax. He breathed on the apple, then took a bite. Thousands lost their lives here, right here. He chewed for a second. A lot of hate is burned into the side of the mountain. Sedina looked over the landscape. Where are the skeletons? The rusted armor? Sedina asked. Dragonfire. He swallowed. It's like having lava fall on you. She chuckled. I guess I could have figured that one out. Ahead of them was the top of the road. There it began to descend back down into Caelculis Valley. At one point in time, this was a checkpoint. In the gap of two large bluffs was a run-down tower gatehouse. The top part blackened with melted rock and iron. Here there were skeletons and very rusted out weapons. No overgrowth or trees grew in this area, just black rock and dust. Sedina was amazed at the artisanship of the stone and iron work that didn't melt under the intense heat. She herself loved history, and finding it excited her. She slowed the horse, bringing her right leg over the saddle horn to climb down. Her boots landed on charred rocks, making some dust that quickly resettled. Sedina stared at the stone and the carvings of two-legged, dragon-like beings. They were carrying what looked to be gifts or building something in what looked like a forest. She removed a glove from her right hand, reaching to touch the old stone, to feel its texture and the hard work of the ancient ones. Sedina, don't touch the walls. Arduin looked the old building over with concern. You don't know what kind of a curse it might have. He looked down at the desolate land they were heading. Your brother's down there. That is where the tracks lead. He pulls a small looking glass from his side pouch. It looks like an old fortress. He held the looking glass out for her to see. Sedina loved looking glasses. She had one specially made from a smith in Aelin, but lent it to her brother Ciaran just before he disappeared. She took it gently in her hand, placing it to her eye, spying on a half-buried massive fortress. There was a lot of movement, orcs digging, and even captured elves in chains under the whip. She handed the looking glass back to him. Ardaline took a drink of water, then handed the bottle to Sedina. It's rumored that Doralax rose from these mountains. He had created 3 orbs of power, birthing them, if you will. Ardaline held a slight grin as he spoke. It is also said that his dark castle is in the Herdrill Mountains, with rooms full of gold. There are very valuable treasures here, old cities yet to be found. He smirked. We could get rich and live out our days here. She half smiled and shook her head no. And what? Live with cursed gold? I don't think so. Sedina needed to make a choice quick. They could hide in the forest and wait for the right moment, or go directly to the castle. Her brother was alive down there in the fortress somewhere. She was going to find out even if it meant her end. Sedina hopped onto her horse and was about to ride down the mountain, when Ardaline reached out and touched her right arm. Sedina, don't. Not unless you want to die a horrible death. We should wait till night, Ardaline advised. Don't they see better at night? Sedina questioned, taking a drink of a small jug from her pouch. He smirked. No, that's a myth. These creatures are no different than you or I. Ardaline put the looking glass to his eye once more. It would be better to hide in the old forest there. He pointed to the old run-down group of trees, then handed her the looking glass. Sedina held the looking glass to her eye. As she spied the forest, there was some sort of movement that caught her attention. There's something moving through the trees. She pulled the looking glass from her eye, scanned the trees, then replaced the glass to her eye. They are dwarves, heavily armed dwarves. Ardaline straightened in his saddle. Are you able to make out what clan it is? She stared through the glass at them. Their shield markings are new to me. I can't place them. If these were anything like the dwarves from the north, they better not get caught by them, Ardaline thought. He stuck his hand out, pointing towards the wall. I believe there is a hole in the wall facing us. Sedina glanced over to the wall, seeing the vulnerable side with the hole. Yes, it looks unguarded. She handed him the glass. We should go before they have time to notice us. Ardaline had barely had time to stuff the looking glass back into his pouch before she kicked the horse into a sprint. He wanted to call to her, but did not want unnecessary attention on them. He quickly followed down the mountainside behind her. As he rode, Ardaline placed a hand on his sword, ready to draw it at any given moment. The dwarves that marched against the orcs moved as one, organized and in sync with their attacks. A machine that was very well oiled. It was fearsome to watch. The shield wall had no gaps save for a sword or a spear to exit. Their training surpassed the outnumbering orcs that attacked them. The dwarves had been surrounded like ants on fresh fruit. Well, I'm going to stop it there to leave 2 more pages exactly for the next reading. Don't hate me, because it kind of leaves you guys at a cliffhanger, sort of. But if you guys are enjoying these, please don't forget to drop me a like, comment, and share if you would like. Please, be great. If you have any criticisms or critiques about what I've read so far, let me know. I am open to suggestions, and I like the conversation that we have. So, thank you for watching, guys, and as always, stay being creative.